All right, everyone. It looks like John Cornyn might actually get knocked off his pedestal by Ken Paxton. I support this completely because John Cornyn, he's an interesting case. He's from Texas, of course. He's a congressman. He's reasonably well-spoken. Maybe not the most well-spoken, but at the very least, he's reasonably charismatic. He's highly electable. He's got the name recognition. He's been in there for quite some time, and so he has some advantages. Here's my problem. A lot of people, when they're trying to defend Cornyn, they're speaking about electability. And so they're like, well, if we're going to support the Republican Party, John Cornyn does better than Ken Paxton in the matchups potentially. He's, of course, the Attorney General down there. At the moment, he's probably going to seek a Senate run. Here's my answer to that. It does not matter if a person is elected if the person, ideologically speaking, is completely out of lockstep with what you believe in. Now, no politician is ever going to be perfect. For instance, I like Rand Paul, I like Donald Trump, I like Thomas Massey, but I disagree with them on certain sum and substance actual issues. The same would be true of Ken Paxton. What's the point of electing someone if they're completely out of lockstep with what you believe in? John Cornyn has been a dedicated neoconservative for a very, very long time. He has never been a principled, he's certainly not a populist. He doesn't go with the libertarians or anything like that. He is a neocon. What's the point in electing him then? You might as well just elect the Democrat. It makes absolutely no difference. What difference does it make, as Hillary Clinton would say? There is none. It does not exist. If you have a liberal and a neocon in the same room, they're going to agree on 90% of issues anyway. That's where John Cornyn fits in. He has been an anti-gunner. He has been in favor of excessive taxation. He has been in favor of hyper-regulation. Well, then what's the difference? Why not just vote for the Democrat? At least they're being honest about what they believe in, unlike John Cornyn is. I would go with Paxton, and I would encourage Donald Trump to endorse him. Endorse Ken Paxton, put him over the finish line, and get him in there. Now, whether this actually happens or not is partially a matter of pragmatism. Donald Trump has shown a willingness to endorse people that fundamentally disagree with him on ideological issues so long as he believes they will win. He's much more interested in backing the winner so that they owe him at least a little bit, as opposed to going with people who are maybe more ideologically connected to him. He has shown a willingness to do so. And so my fear is that Donald Trump is actually going to come out in favor of John Cornyn. This, in my opinion, would be an ideological mistake, though, because Cornyn uniquely among, other than Murkowski and Collins and a couple of others, uniquely among Republicans has been dedicated against your actual agenda. So backing him would not necessarily be the greatest of looks. If anything, I think that Donald Trump would be wise if he doesn't want to weigh in favor of Ken Paxton, thinking that he might lose. What you should do is just not weigh in at all. You should effectively just say, well, the people of Texas, they're going to make their own choices or something like that. Make up an excuse. I would say that would probably be the right thing to do. I would vote for Paxton if I was in Texas. I would not be voting for John Cornyn of all people. And I don't think that anyone else that's watching this channel probably would vote for John Cornyn either. Just saying, there might be a little bit of a shared commonality with regards to ideology on this particular issue. Cornyn, for years and years and years, has thrown conservatism under the bus. I say this as a non-conservative. I just want somebody to be coherent. I want them to actually field the ideology that they claim to field. I may not agree with every aspect of conservatism, but if you're going to claim to be a conservative, be a conservative. That would make sense now, wouldn't it? But apparently within politics, this doesn't make sense. It's actually the wrong thing to do. I've noticed this before. Same with liberals, actually. Yeah, I'm a liberal. Do I actually promote liberalism? No, I'm promoting something completely different, but at the same time, I've got a D after my name, so you have to vote for me. It's partisan politics. This is not the way to do things. Cornyn is not principled in any way, shape, or form. He should be kicked out. I would prefer Ken Paxton. Of course, I say this, I'm not a Texan, so I'm not capable of voting in this particular election. But if I were a Texan, yes, it would be Paxton that I would be voting for over John Cornyn. The Democrats will field somebody completely wonky. They usually do. We've seen this a number of times over the last few years and probably will lose. And the Republicans, I guarantee you what'll happen. The right-wing legacy media will tell the Republicans, you must side with Cornyn because Paxton can't win. Oh my God, we're going to lose to the Democrats. Again, the answer is quite simple. Who cares? It doesn't matter if John Cornyn wins because he's basically the same thing. So you might as well go with the person who may lose, but at the same time, if they win, at least they have some sort of ideological capabilities there. Because if you go with the alternative, it doesn't matter if he wins or loses. It means absolutely nothing. Unless the Democrats choose some really, really far leftoid, and far leftoid probably isn't going to win against Ken Paxton either anyway, so it means absolutely nothing once again. That's about all. Peace out.